Hello, happy 420, April 20th. Today is a very special occasion because 420 stands for weed and marijuana, so I don't really partake in these activities, but when I was in college, my friends do partake, and they had a very memorable 420 experience in my senior year in college. So, this is that story. One of the side effects that you get when you smoke marijuana is that you get the munchies, which means that everything that you eat tastes really good, and you really want to eat a lot of foods. My friends had this amazing idea. They're like, okay, 420 is coming up. Let's go have like edibles, which is just like food infused with marijuana and THC, and then go eat this all-you-can-eat place. And then we'll have the munchies and we'll be at an all-you-can-eat place so we can just keep eating and it'll be great. So they're like, wow, such a genius idea. Let's go do that. But they had one issue. They're like, we're all gonna be high. We need a designated driver. I was like, all right, I'll be your designated driver. So we needed 2 designated drivers, and the rest of them were all like eating an edible before, so they're gonna be like high. So 420 comes. I remember coming in 6:30, go to their apartment, and I was like, hey, I'm here. Everyone seemed normal because apparently they just took one edible like right before, and it takes like 20 minutes or 30 minutes for it to kick in. They decided on this place called Huhot. I don't really know if it's there. Let me go check if it's still there. It's not there anymore. It's a golden crab now. So unfortunately, Huhot's not there anymore. But Huhot was a Mongolian barbecue place. We drive to Huhot. Everyone's starting to feel it. People were starting to laugh for no reason. They would look around and laugh at nothing. And then so I was like, this is a fun experience. I'm just gonna like look at them and eat some good food. We go into Huhot. Everything seems normal. No one's really talking because they're all in their little worlds.
Oh my god.
They don't seem like they're all there, but they're all having a good time. They're all laughing. Then the second plate comes. So we all go stand up, grab our second plate. This is where things started to get a little weird.
Everyone doing okay?
Yeah, we're all great. Thanks.
Alright.
Instead of eating, they would just be putting their heads in their hands like this. We're gonna call him Juniper Tree. Juniper Tree was eating, and then he just stopped eating, and then he started like looking around and then covering his head. So I was like, Juniper Tree, why are you looking all weird? What's going on? And he was like, everyone knows what's going on. Everyone knows. I think everyone knows we're high. Everyone knows we're high. He was super paranoid that everyone around us apparently knows that they're high and they're gonna get in trouble or something like that. The majority of people around us were just families. Like there's like little kids, toddlers and all that. So no one really cared about us, but he was convinced that everyone was like onto us. So he was like really paranoid. And then another friend, what should I use for his name? Apple Tree. Apple Tree started to also get similar reactions to Juniper Tree. They both were just like seeming to contemplate life or something like that. So we just eat for a little bit, and then they go from paranoid to like straight panicking. People started to like get up, and then they're like, I need to get out, I need to get out. Everyone's like, okay, I think we need to go back home. So while that happens though, Apple Tree over here, he feels really bad that he's like, okay, I need to go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, let me figure out the table situation, and then I'll go check up on Apple Tree. So I'm left with like 3 other people, and then Apple Tree in the bathroom, and I was like, okay, you guys seem fine, I'm gonna go check on Apple Tree. I go and check on Apple Tree. This bathroom was 1 urinal and 1 stall. Apple Tree didn't close the door to the stall. He was just sitting there next to the toilet and just waiting to throw up. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna close the door. I'll wait outside the stall, and once he throws up, he should feel a little better, then we could go. Suddenly, this father and son come into the bathroom. The son is like 6 years old. For some reason, Apple Tree heard people coming in, thought that they needed to use the stall. So he just gets up without throwing up, and then opens the door and lets them go through. So they're using the stall, and then at that time, Apple Tree decides to throw up. He decides to throw up in the sink. He starts throwing up like a lot. So the sink gets clogged, and then he decides to wash his hands. Turns on the water, and then now the sink is starting to fill with water, and there's his throw up like stuck in chunks in the sink. So he goes like, oh no, people need to use the sink. I need to get the throw up out of the sink. So he uses his hands and he scoops the throw up and tries to push it into the overfill drain, those little holes in the back of the sink. So he starts like pushing the little throw up in, while like hovering over the sink, just like trying to see like how to move the throw up into the overflow hole. At this point, the father and son come out. They see that Apple Tree is stuck on the sink and there's no sink to wash their hands. So they just kind of look at us and then walk out. Apple Tree has finished trying to fill the overflow with his throw up. So I load up everyone in the car. Everyone looks like they're about to throw up. So I get 4 bags. Everyone's there with a bag on their face in the car. One of them was sitting there going like, can you turn off the music? And I was like, there is no music. And they're just like, it's so loud. And I was like, what is so loud? And I think it was just the blinker of the car. We all make it back home. No one threw up in the car, luckily. I go park the car, everyone goes out, and then they go back to the apartment to go figure out how to, like, you know, survive. Juniper Tree, he goes up the stairs. They live in the 3rd floor of the apartment. So he's up the 1st flight of stairs, all good. Up the 2nd flight of stairs, all good. And then he reaches the 3rd floor, and he's about to go to his apartment. He can't handle it anymore, and he just projectile vomits onto the floor. At this point, he's not in a good state to go and clean this up. For the rest of the night, everyone who comes up to that apartment just opens the door and just sees like this huge pile of throw up. I heard the next day Juniper Tree remembered that he threw up outside and then he felt pretty bad about throwing up and leaving it for the public to see. So he goes out and he goes and cleans the throw up, but he left it out for the whole night. So from then on, every time I go to his apartment, I can see the stain of the throw up on the floor. Apparently, looking it up, they greened out, which is like a thing where you could just take too much weed and then have a bad reaction where you need to throw it up. And the reason that happens is because they took edibles and they didn't know how much they can handle. So they just kept eating and then overall they just took too much and then they threw it up. So that was my 420 story. One of my most memorable 420 stories, especially because of the overflow. I can't get that image out of my head. It's just, I see him pushing chunks of food into the overflow. I was just like so shocked that someone would do that. So that's my 420 experience. That's it for today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.